Hey guys, this is Savannah Dean Reeves. I am a singer-songwriter, and you are listening to Hank's Corner.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Hank's Corner. This is episode number 96, as we are getting very close to that special 100th episode. As always, I am your guest, Hank Jr., part of Hank Jr. Productions, where I'm documenting life's moments through photography, videography, and now podcasting. And today, I always got a special guest coming on, but this one's even special too because it comes from my way from Brian Judy over in Freedom Jam, and you guys that follow me know a lot about that. So he kind of turned me on to this next guest, and she actually just got done for opening up for Garth Brooks' daughter last night, Allie Colleen. Please welcome Savannah Dean Reeves. How are you doing, Savannah?
Good. How are you doing?
Oh, I am doing wonderful. It's evening time when I record these podcasts, and I'm just, done with work. Get to sit down and talk with all these great artists. Like I said, we're getting close to 100, and I'm glad that you're going to be one of them. So tell me where you're calling in from today.
I'm calling in from my hometown here in Georgetown, Kentucky, really close to Lexington, if anyone knows that area. But yeah, this is my hometown. This is where I've grown up my whole life, and eventually I'm going to get out, but...
Yeah, so that's not too far from Nashville then.
Right. It's about 4 hours, give or take.
Okay, that's not bad. Here in Tampa, where I'm recording, it's about a 10-hour drive to get there, and I've made it several times. But being that close has got to be pretty easy to get there. And I'll be honest, I don't really know too much about Kentucky. I haven't really been there, but tell me a little bit about your area. What are some of the highlights? And if I ever should come up to see a show over there, what else would I be doing up there?
Right. So some of the, I guess, hot attractions here is we're definitely known for our horses. So the horse park is a great place to visit when you come by, but also Bourbon Central,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there's a lot of tours that you can go on. And there's one actually, I think they're moving locations, but Bourbon 30, they were recently just in Georgetown, but they're expanding a lot, which is awesome, but they're a really good place to visit.
Okay. And you got to be careful. You can't do bourbon and horses necessarily at the same time. Although you wouldn't be able to tell the difference, because sometimes when I get on a horse, I tell my wife that I'm side saddling, but she's like, no, you're just really falling off. So that doesn't count. So if I'm drinking and doing that, you got to watch out. But do you do either? Do you drink bourbon, or do you hop on a horse every now and then?
I'll drink bourbon here or there, mainly when my dad's home from overseas. Like I'll have a glass of bourbon with him while he sits outside. But I've been thrown off a couple horses. One of my best friends has a lot of horses, and so when I go riding with her, one time I got thrown off.
Landed but you got back up again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. And you mentioned your dad's overseas. Is he part of the military?
He is. So he's one of the private contractors for the U.S. Embassy in Iraq.
Okay. And, we always hear, on our show, are promoting the veterans, but the active military as well, because we know that it takes a lot for them to do it. And not just the military, but in this case, the contractors and everybody else that are overseas. We're thankful for that, because we need somebody to do that to keep us safe in this world. So now tell me, you got a album that's out recently. Tell me a little bit about it. I know it's doing really well, at least from the vantage point that I'm seeing. Do you think it's doing well?
I do think it's doing well. I put it out a while ago. I kind of forget the exact date, but it has all my favorite songs on it. It had 3 new ones added to it. 2 of them were already out. But yeah, I was very happy with the outcome with it. It's given me something to advertise myself with a little bit. I think it's a sneak peek into a little bit into my life, because I write all my songs, and I think each of them have a little bit of a feel for kind of like stuff I've been through in my life. And so people may not, know that when they first listen to it, but like for me saying it, I've been through some things, and that's just where I get my inspiration for writing, and that's kind of where this album kind of grew out of.
Now, the album's called Hope You Burn, and you have the title track off that as well. Tell me about that particular song. And you're mentioning that it comes from your life's inspiration. Where did Hope You Burn come from?
Well, a while back, I went through something, and I was in a sad era of my life, I shall say, and I got a call from one of my friends, Dee Dee Cox. She's an author, and she was like, "Can you write a song for this book?" And I was reading the book description, like what the story was about, and we ended up not turning it into a book, but I still wrote the song from it because I was like, you know what, this is kind of like what I'm going through right now. So that kind of how that grew out of it, and give or take, not everything's true, but just some inspiration.
Okay, and it's definitely an interesting song. I know I'm loving it. I think that's the first song that I had listened to when I came across your music, and I think that that's kind of gravitated to my favorite one. So I'm going to go ahead and play that first here on Hank's Corner. Here's "Hope You Burn."
Storm is coming and all the clouds are gray. The rain is pouring, but it ain't gonna wash your sins away. So I stole an old Chevy and I hit the road. The wind can't knock it down, but the flames will take you up in smoke. And I hope you burn like a shot of tequila as it goes down. And I hope it hurts like a cigarette being put out. You lit the match, baby, but I started the fire. And I hope you burn. Yeah, I hope it burns. There were no warning signs the day you entered my life. I knew I should have walked away the moment the red flags were flying high. Now I'm stuck at a Motel 6 right off of Route 66. And all those late night fights are consuming my mind. I hope you burn like a shot of tequila as it goes down. And I hope it hurts like a cigarette being put out. You lit the match, baby, but I started the fire. And I hope you burn. Yeah, I hope it I hope you burn like a shot of tequila as it goes down. And I hope it hurts like a cigarette being put out. You lit the match, baby, but I started that fire. And I hope you burn. Yeah, I hope it burns. And I hope you burn. Yeah, I hope it
Welcome back to Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr. here with my special guest, Savannah Dean Reeves, and you just heard "Hope You Burn," which is also the name of the album that she has out. And so tell me, how did you get started in the music business? When did you decide to wake up one morning and say, hey, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I mean, I've been connected with music for as long as I can remember, honestly. But I never really thought to pick up a guitar or anything until my mom kind of got me hooked on singing in the back seat of the car, and like I was listening to Miranda Lambert and all this stuff. And I remember, well, there's a video of it. I don't necessarily remember, but they took a video of me putting on pink cowboy boots. They got me a little pink guitar when I was little, and I didn't know how to play it or anything, but I would act like I was playing along to Miranda Lambert songs.
Okay. And so I'm guessing that Miranda Lambert's probably one of your influences then.
Yes, she is. I love all of her songs, especially definitely the writing in them. She's kind of like a storyteller is kind of what I get from listening to her songs, and that's kind of like how I write my music too. I love to tell stories through music.
So you mentioned you write your own songs. We talked about that. Do you remember when you actually started writing songs?
Yes, it was when my middle school crush broke my heart, and I was like, I'm gonna write a song called Goodbye. So I think I wrote my first song when I was in sixth grade, seventh grade, and it was an 8-minute song. Oh my gosh.
Oh, so he really made you mad.
Oh, he made me mad.
And we've talked about this on the show before, with different artists, and I always find it funny, the poor guys that date musicians, and I guess it could go the other way around, but it seems to go mostly with the guys that are dating female musicians, that they screw up and they're going to hear about it forever, especially if they become famous, whether it's like Taylor Swift or somebody like that, and their name's going to be through the mud for the rest of their lives.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a lot of my songs.
And besides Miranda Lambert, tell me, who are some of your other influences?
Yeah, so right now I'll have to say Lainey Wilson is one of my biggest. Like, I feel like everything she does is just awesome, and it's raw, and it's just really good. Growing up, I listened to a lot of Dolly Parton. I used to do a lot of her competitions in Sevierville. And so she was another big one for me. Reba, yes. Oh, I still love Reba to this day, but she was also another big one for me when I first started.
And the reason why I asked specifically, and I asked all the artists what their influences is, but with you, when I listen to your music, it seems that you got influences from all different genres. I mean, I hear the country, I hear the rock, I hear the soul. And is that intentional that you're trying to put it out there to incorporate all those different genres into your own sound?
It is. So my mom, I have to give her a lot of props because she was another one of my big inspirations, because when I first started playing the guitar, she's like, maybe you should learn this song, and kind of got me hooked into different genres. And so even when I perform live, I try to bring in all different genres. And especially with my music, I do love rock, and I love tying that all in together. There's one that I haven't put out yet, but it has more of a bluesy feel to it, and it's one of my favorites. So
okay, well, we're definitely going to be looking forward to that one, because I like a little bit of blues every now and then, but it does work for you. I do hear all the different things just going into one, and I'm like, that's Savannah's music right there, and keep at it. But you brought up your mother a couple of times. She's obviously the big influence in your life as well. You have a song called My Mama Told Me, correct? Tell me a little bit about that one.
So that one kind of came from my mom always being right about everything. And she's like, oh, I could tell he's going to break your heart. Yeah, well, you're right. But I didn't want to think she's right at the time. That's usually how I introduce the song anyways. Moms are always right, but we don't want to think it.
Yeah, we don't realize how smart they are until we get older, and then we understand,
Right.
okay, I guess they were pretty smart. But that is a great song. Would you mind playing it for us here on Hank's Corner?
I will. My mama told me that you wouldn't be the one. Don't let this be love. My daddy told me that he'd whip right out the gun. Don't let this be love. Don't let this be love. walk the walk, but can you talk the talk? I bet you can't walk a mile in my shoes. You tell me that I don't say what I mean, but this time I'm saying it right to you. This thing right here ain't a check-in or check-out line. You buy what you get, you don't throw a fit or you don't come back again. Even change your name in my phone so my friends don't see when you call, 'cause I don't wanna be that girl again. My mama told me that you wouldn't be the one. Don't let this be love. My daddy told me that he'd whip right out the gun. Don't let this be love. Don't let this be love. Now we're out on the town, really tearing it down. Hey bartender, pour another round. Ooh, and the jukebox comes on, and it's our song. And no, I'm not leaving here alone. My mama told me that you wouldn't be the one. Don't let this be love. My daddy told me that he'd whip right out the gun. Don't let this be love. Don't let this be love. My mama told me that you were the one. Oh my God, this is love. Don't let it be love. Oh, it's love. Don't let it be love. Oh, it's love. Let it be love. Oh, it's love. Don't let it be love. Oh, it's love. My mama told me that you wouldn't be the one. Don't let this be love. My daddy told me that he'd whip right out the gun. Don't let this be love. Don't let this be love. Oh my God, this is love.
And that was Savannah Dean Reeves here on Hank's Corner singing My Mama Told Me. I'm Hank Jr., as always, part of Hank Jr. Productions, where, I'm documenting those life's moments. And, that was great. I love hearing you perform live. Of course, I love hearing, your tracks and stuff like that. But, I heard you do a live stream not too long ago. And, just hearing that live, it's really neat. And, you kind of remind me of another Kentucky girl, Taylor Hughes, which is up here somewhere, that I take a picture of. I don't know if you've listened to her, but man, you guys got those voices that are just soulful, and I guess it must be the bourbon up there that does it.
Hey, so I met Taylor a long time ago, and I think I was actually in like middle school, and she come in and because I was the only one that wanted to pursue music as a career, and we had a career day, and she actually came in and talked to me that day, and then we became friends.
Okay,
So
well, what a small world, huh?
I know,
Yeah,
right? She's
that's
awesome.
pretty. That's pretty cool. Now you guys should probably get out and do like a duel on stage, just back and forth. I mean, I think you would just have the crowd going crazy if you guys were to do that. But getting into the music business, what are some of the things that you were surprised to find out, whether good or bad, that man, this is not what I expected?
One that it's hard to make everybody happy. So you just have to really focus on making yourself happy first, because you can't please everybody. And that's a big thing with me. I struggle with is pleasing everyone. So it took me a while to step back and be like, hey, you know what? I'm doing this because this makes me happy. This is the thing that makes me the happiest in the world. And that's why I'm here. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing what I love. I'm following my dreams. And I don't think anything could get in the way of that at this point.
And we talked about you going to Nashville. How often do you actually make it down to Nashville?
So I went last year, and I played at local Nash for Writers Round, and I met some amazing people. I'm going back in April to record a song. So very excited about that.
So we'll have to be looking for that. And that's what I was wondering. I'm always curious as to where people do their recording, whether it's in Nashville or, we've seen some that do it in Mississippi and, even some in New York and California. And I'm always curious kind of where that's recording's done, because as you know, things are a little bit different and you can pretty much record. Some people have their own studios, and I just find it kind of neat how this has all changed. It used to be strictly Nashville or, strictly New York or whatever, but it's kind of changing.
So I recorded all my songs so far have been recorded in Lexington at the Sneak Attack. It's in the doo-wop shop, and that's with Jason Groves, and he's awesome. So if anyone's listening that's wanting to record around this area, please go see him because he's really taking good care of me.
Okay. And I'm definitely all about promoting, because you and I both know that, although you're a front and center, you're the one on the camera, you're the one on the front of the stage, it basically takes a village to be successful, whether it's the promoters, the people that work the sound, the people that do your social media, all kinds of stuff like that. And so I'm always willing to promote the guys that aren't seen.
Right. You're right. It does take a village. I don't know what I would do without my band.
Okay. And I know that one of the videos that I seen that you had out was for Stolen Roses, correct?
Correct.
Tell me a little bit about the backstory for that video.
Yeah, so the author I was talking about earlier, it was one of her books. She wrote a book called Stolen Roses, and I went to one of her book signings. And she's not from the area, so she was in the area selling her books, and I was like, hey, we need to go see her. So me and my mom went to see her, and it just so happens I had just written a song called Falling Roses. And we didn't plan it or anything. And she was telling me about her book and everything, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's the same thing. And so it just kind of went from there, and we tweaked a little bit here and there in both the book and the song to make them really, really, really match. And that's where that came from. And now it's being turned into a movie, and that's just crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So when should we expect that movie possibly to come out?
Well, I'm not sure where they're at on the funding for it just yet. I would hope to see it maybe out by next spring, because it's with the roses and the derby and everything. That's what I have a feeling is going to happen.
Okay. Well, hopefully that comes to fruition very soon. But like I said, I've really enjoyed, kind of watching the concept of that video. And are videos something that you like doing, or would you rather just kind of just stick to the stage?
No, I love doing videos. I used to shoot my own music videos, but you can't do both. So, but no, I love doing videos. I think that it honestly helps capture the meaning of the song sometimes, the way you intended it to be, because everyone thinks differently about songs. They think differently, and a lot goes into it, and people feel a certain way about them, but I feel like it really shows what the artist intended for it to mean.
Yeah, and I'll definitely agree with that, because I've had it to where you've listened to a song a couple times, and then you watch the video and you're like, I never thought about it that way. And, some videos are fun, but some of them do have a lot of, hidden meaning behind that. And it's always interesting to see that. So I'm glad when artists continue to do it in today's age. I know it's not quite the same when you don't have, constant music channels playing videos over and over, but, I'm glad when the artists do put that out. But, as far as singing, can you do us a favor and do another song here on Hank's Corner? I was wondering if you can play I Drink Too.
I sure can. That one is my absolute favorite.
All right, let's do it then.
I've been in low places. Baby, can't you see things are changing? And all this talk about forever, I don't know if it's for worse or better. And all this time, I still find myself crawling back to this bar. I drink beer on Friday night to forget that you ain't by my side, and I drink whiskey on Saturday, still trying to drink you away. And the bartender pours another round and round and round. I go, yeah, I could sit here and say a while lie, but baby, I just thought you should know you're the reason I drink too. Then I drink too. Haven't you heard that we live in a small town with people talking? You thought that you keep it silent, but baby, I know where your truck is parking. I drink beer on Friday night to forget that you ain't by my side, and I drink whiskey on Saturday, still trying to drink you away. And the bartender pours another round and round and round. I go, yeah, I could sit here and say a while lie, but baby, I just thought you should know you're the reason I drink too. When Sunday rolls around, I'll be nowhere to be found. I drink two more and owe it to you. I drink beer on Friday night to forget that you ain't by my side, and I drink whiskey on Saturday, I'm still trying to drink you away. The bartender pours another round and round and round. I go, yeah, I could sit here and say a while lie, but baby, I just thought you should know you're the reason I drink too. Then I drink too. You're the reason I drink too.
Welcome back to Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr. That is Savannah Dean Reeves. I drink too. That is great. I just, like I said, I can't get over, just listening to you sing. It's just so mesmerizing. And, I'm so glad to have you here on my show. Now, obviously, music takes up a lot of time for artists, whether they're, writing, playing, practicing, promoting. But there has got to be some time when you're not, doing the music thing. What are you doing for fun?
Shoo. Well, I'm a college student still. I'm graduating very soon. So that takes up a lot of my time as well. I don't know what I do for fun. Music is fun. But I hang out with my friends. That's usually what I'm doing if I'm not doing music. I love to travel. I don't get to do it often, but spending time with my dog,
Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm not too good with this sort of things. We're recording this podcast on a particular day, but I believe today is like National Puppy Day or something like that. I saw somewhere. I don't know. I think there's a day for everything, but I think I saw somebody post that it was a National Puppy Day.
Well, it's so funny because every time I get my guitar out, she comes and sits beside me. And then she'll like lick it. Like, I'm like, are you playing with me? So she wanted to come in here. I was like, oh, you can't come. I'm sorry. Should have
And what kind of dog do you have?
She's a golden retriever, husky, Australian shepherd
Oh,
mix.
wow.
So she has
Okay.
one blue eye, one brown eye. So pretty.
Definitely very interesting. Well, obviously she recognizes good music. That's why she comes running in there and that sort of thing. But
Lexi's totally
I don't think that that's the case. Now, also besides the drinks, I like to talk about food on the podcast. I've just, I'm a foodie. I love to eat wherever I go. Unfortunately, that gets me in trouble sometimes, that I end up having to work it off. But should I make it out to your way? What are some of the things that you like in your area that are a staple for Kentucky? And then just in general, what do you like eating?
Well, one of my favorite places is Malone's Steakhouse in Lexington. Um, it just has a variety of food, like anything. Anything's on the menu, and you're going to be satisfied with anything that you get. J. Alexander's is one of my favorites, but I love steak. One of my restaurants in town that I like to go to, Galvin's on Main. It's a pretty popular spot, and a lot of people that come through, we always push them to eat there because I'm like, it's so good, you got to try it one time. And then usually people will come back. It's always packed; you could barely get a seat. So.
Well, I definitely am good for a good steak as well, so that's a good choice. Now, as I said, we're getting very close to my 100th episode. We're at 96, and I always talk about that I have a playlist of all the artists that that have been on the show, and it's getting longer and longer. And of course, now you're going to be on that playlist. And but I'm curious, who is on your playlist right now?
Oh goodness. So I have this thing where I'll listen to the top 20 countdown, and I usually put all the artists on a playlist, that the songs that are out, and it's grown to be over like 500 songs on it, or however many they'll let you add, but there's so many songs on it. I do have a playlist with some of my, like, I have a sad country playlist, I have a rock and roll playlist, like get me going, like go to the gym type thing, and and yeah, I have a lot of different playlists. The top people I'd say that are on there that I listen to a lot, Morgan Wallen just put out his new album. That's one I've been listening to a lot. And of course, Lainey Wilson, all her stuff.
Yeah, those seem to be two very popular artists right now that's on the top of everybody's playlist. And along those lines, like I said, you just got to, go out there and open up for Ali Colleen. But, give it the chance to be on stage with anybody. Who would you like to be on stage with?
Oh, okay. Well, I know I've said her name so many times tonight, but right now I think I would have to pick Lainey Wilson, just because of like her style and seeing her perform. I've never seen her perform live, but the videos that I see, it seems like it'd be a good fun time. But also, my dream has always been to play and sing with Elle King.
Oh,
She is
right.
awesome, and I just saw her at Manchester a while back, and I was like, oh, I would give anything to get up there and sing a song with you right now.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's definitely a great choice right there. Should somebody come to a Savannah Dean Reeves, I mean, obviously you could be on stage with other people, but just to see you, what should we expect?
You should expect a good time. I mean, I put on a good show. I will promise you, you won't be bored. I'll get you out there dancing and moving with me, and if you don't want to dance, I'll come to the crowd and I'll grab you and make you dance.
Okay. Well, then I guess I got to be careful there because I'm not a big dancer, but if that's what I have to do, but I'm sure I would definitely enjoy that. And, whether I make it out to, Kentucky, Nashville, that you've happened to be there, or I've been trying to convince Taylor to come down. She, talking about, maybe having some dates in Florida this year. So maybe you guys can work that out, but hopefully either way, I get to see you guys soon. And, in the meantime, you're always welcome to be a guest. And, I'm going to go ahead and end the show with one of my other favorite songs by you, Stars and Stripes. I think it's, perfect to end this way, that Brian Judy from Freedom Jam introduced me to that. But Savannah, it's been a great pleasure to talk to you. Like I said, if you ever want to be on the podcast, you're more than welcome to do so.
Hey, thank you so much.
Because it's how I was raised. I walk tall with my head out high, because I'm proud to live in the USA. I stand for freedom, F-R-E-E-D-O-M. I can carry a gun because the Second Amendment says I can. You can try to change my mind, but nothing's gonna change the way my flag flies. Let freedom rock, let freedom roll. The American way is the only way I know. Let freedom rock, let freedom roll. You can try to take my rights, but you can't take away my stars and stripes. I stand for all people in uniform who have family waiting or couldn't make it home. We'll pour a tall glass of whiskey on ice, and here's to the people out there risking their lives. You can try to change my mind, but we'll raise our glasses high for those who have died. Let freedom rock, let freedom roll. The American way is the only way I know. Let freedom rock, let freedom roll. You can try to take my rights, but you can't take away my stars and stripes. You can try to take our flag, but the United States will gladly kick your ass. Let freedom rise.